Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, and all those terrible Jay and Silent Bob type pictures, man. You're listening to Drop the Mic, the only podcast that I listen to that I'm not a part of. Every podcast I listen to, I usually talk on it, but not fucking Drop the Mic. That's where I'm like, let me hear what the boys have to say. And now, we drop the mic.
It's destroying everything.
It's not destroying. It's making something new.
Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. It's Wesley and Ryan, and together we are Drop the Mic. This is episode 355, Journey into the Shimmer, where we will be discussing writer-director Alex Garland's 2018 film Annihilation. But before we get into that, let's warm up.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
Ryan, what's going on? Welcome back, dude.
What's up, dude? I know. We're both welcome back. We've been gone. We always say that we're going to come back and it's going to be short, but then shit happens. But it's finally good to be back with you again.
I know, right? Our last episode was with Chris for Road Warrior. And it seems like life keeps getting in the way. But
yeah, we
will keep on producing content, no matter how long it takes.
Yes.
Did you want us to kick us off with some pop culture news?
Yeah. So, a sequel to St. Elmo's Fire is being considered at Sony with the original cast returning. That's pretty crazy.
That is a bit bizarre.
Right?
Like, you guys, you're seriously going to do that before you do a Breakfast Club?
In some more 80s movie news, Spaceballs 2 is apparently in the works.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Mel Brooks coming back. How old is he? Fucking 90, in his late 90s?
Yeah.
And Josh Gad as well.
Mm-hmm. Reading that Mel Brooks was going to be involved, I was like, holy shit, that's amazing.
I grew up with fucking Mel Brooks movies, dude, so Spaceball was always on rotation in my house and my dad. Moving forward, Osgood Perkins is set to direct an adaptation of Stephen King's The Monkey with James Wan set to produce. Perkins was being interviewed by Bloody Disgusting, and he says that it couldn't be less like Longlegs. It's more like Misery or Creepshow, Gremlins, or American Werewolf. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
That movie, I know we talk about it off air all the time. We've been talking about it, but that is the movie I'm most excited for, dude. All the billboards, the movie posters, all the shit they're doing online, the phone number you can call, which I know you called, right?
I 100% did call that. You know,
I saw something on TikTok. A girl made her mom call it, and she got fucking all like spooked out and like, who is this on the phone?
Yeah, because it's Cage. It's a pre-recorded voice message from Cage in character, but it's like super fucking weird. Did you check it out yet?
I haven't called it, but I heard like the whole thing from someone else. Here's some news that I guess I didn't even hear about, or maybe forgot, or I'm pretty sure I didn't hear because it's pretty crazy. The Rocka duo Danny and Michael Philippou are no longer directing the Street Fighter movie. Obviously, they're the two that did talk to me, but I did not know they were going to direct the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, it seems like those guys are getting thrown projects left and right, because first it was they're going to do a sequel, a follow-up to talk to me, and then it was like they're like, oh, we're actually doing like this other like thriller horror movie for A24, right? That was like a couple months ago, and now all of a sudden it was that they were actually on board to do a Street Fighter adaptation, which is, I guess, has fallen through the floor now. But I never heard of that. I never heard that news break at all.
Oh, did you know about all that stuff, the Street Fighter thing? 'Cause I didn't know.
No, I had no idea that I never heard that news when it came out.
So yeah, when I had seen that they were no longer directing, I was like, when the fuck were they supposed to direct?
Yeah. I don't know how that slipped by us, considering that we do this show and we're reading constantly every day things. But yeah, I had no idea about that. And honestly, it might be for the better,
Yeah.
These guys are newcomers, and it's really hard to do a great video game adaptation. Of course, it can be done. Amazon proving that it can be done with like stuff like Fallout. But also as kind of newcomers, you don't want to throw like a bad film like so early in your career. Can really derail things.
Sony Pictures, dude, they acquired Alamo Drafthouse. It's the first Hollywood studio to own a movie theater in more than 75 years. So that's pretty cool.
What do you think possessed them to do something like that?
I mean, part of me hopes that they saw like the people like us who really love going to the movies, and the Alamo Drafthouse is something that people like love. Those theaters people love going to, and they have like their audience. So hopefully that kind of persuade them to do something like that, and then just maybe they see that how bad theaters are struggling right now, and these chains are struggling. So maybe they feel like they can pump some life into it by purchasing Alamo. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I hope they keep doing like cool events.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
For my last bit of news, Blumhouse Games have teamed up with Brandon Cronenberg and Sam Barlow on a new sci-fi horror game.
Have you seen a little film called Existence yet?
No, I haven't.
That's pretty much a video. Well, yeah, it's about video games, kind of. That's exciting. I can't wait to see what it's like. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to do a death notice. Unfortunately, I think it was over the weekend or towards the end of last week, we lost the great Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
He was 88 years old, battling an illness for years. And then Kiefer, his son, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, announced his father's passing. So, he's been around for a lot of years. Was it Invasion of the Body Snatchers? The list goes on of how like this guy's filmography is insane. The Hunger Games movies, like he's been around for a while.
He's so fucking good in Invasion.
Oh yes.
It sucks. I know he got the honorary Oscar, dude, but it sucks that he never won an Oscar. Wasn't even nominated.
Which is, yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, sucks that he never won.
In some more James Wan news, Atomic Monster and Blumhouse have teamed up for a new erotic thriller that will expand on the universe of Megan. Kate Dolan will direct the film. which is slated for release in early January of 2026. The story centers around a man who begins a relationship with an AI robot after the loss of his wife. What are your thoughts on this?
It's a sex doll, right? Like it's a killer sex doll.
I mean, we haven't seen, obviously there's no images or anything, but yes. If they are using the headlines erotic thriller, it is 100%.
I just hope that it's like a fucking dark comedy like Megan was, dude.
And rated R.
And rated R. I hope it's rated R, and I hope it's fucking funny.
It's got to be funny.
I just don't see how that fits in that universe if it's not funny.
It's got to be funny. They got to do some, like, go back to that original, the Child's Play trilogy, like that kind of like black comedy that they would do, where it's like there's a serious tone there, but then it's also like pretty funny. Do something like that. But I was, thought it was interesting that that they use the word erotic thriller. It's not something that it's not a major subgenre anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Used to be. But you don't really see sexy time in films as much.
No. I think the other generation after us don't really approve of it.
They're like, that's disgusting.
Give me the raunchy shit, bro. Give me raunchy fucking comedies. Give me erotic thrillers.
As long as they're telling a good story. Genre actress Mika Monroe is on fire lately with her new film Long Legs, set to hit theaters next month. And recently, she teased that the next chapter of It Follows will be bigger, darker, and even more fucked up than before.
I mean, you know my love for It Follows, dude. I feel like that's in horror movies, that's probably my number one in the last like 10, 15 years, dude. I don't think anything tops it. Now, that's a bold statement to say, but everything from the subject matter, tone, the fucking soundtrack, everything, dude. It's a perfect film. So for her to say something like this, for me, it's a perfect film. So for her to say something like that has me super stoked. And I'm glad they're both working together again, because he kind of fell off, right? Maybe he did that one movie with what's his name, right?
Oh yeah, Andrew Garfield. Yep.
Andrew Garfield.
Under the Silver Lake.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but so I'm excited. I cannot fucking wait. And dude, everything she does is fucking good. I still have to see didn't it come out last year? What's that movie?
God is a Bullet.
Yeah.
Dude, you're killing me that you haven't seen that
I
yet,
know. Fuck, dude. And dude, I was gonna fucking rent it the other day, and I think what did we rent instead? Forgot. Or yeah, I was gonna buy it, and I saw the TV bill instead, because I have it on my wish list.
How do you remember how much it is? Is it
I think it was like $14.99 or something like that.
Okay, that's not bad. What else? Wrapping up news really quick. The newest Shyamalan film titled Trap, starring Josh Hartnett, is now being released a week earlier than originally announced. You can now catch this new thriller in theaters August 2nd, which is my birthday.
Aww.
I'm pretty stoked for that. Hopefully it is as good as that trailer.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be good. Let's hopefully. I know he was in Oppenheimer. Let's hope it starts the revival of Hartnett's created. Speaking of Hartnett, I don't know if you know. I don't know if you might have caught this. I never caught it watching the movie. It came up like on my timeline. Someone was talking about it on Twitter. Do you remember that line in Cabin in the Woods? One of the guys says that essentially, like, the only time the ritual wasn't executed or finished was in. What year did The Faculty come out?
98.
And he goes that he said something like that. Did you catch that? Like people, I guess people think are saying like that's like a homage to The Faculty.
I don't know. I don't think that doesn't sound.
He says something like he says something like, yeah, the only time the ritual wasn't done properly, didn't finish was in '98. We had that problem. And people think and people refer to that quote as being linked to The Faculty.
I mean, we both know that movie is full of so many Easter eggs.
Yeah.
That it's nuts.
I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a while.
Anybody who doesn't like that movie doesn't watch enough movies. Because
that, and dude, I can't trust you if you don't like that movie. I don't know if I can like you if you didn't like fucking. I know someone who didn't like *Malignant*.
Really?
Yeah, Chanel didn't like it.
I could see that.
She'd be a hater, dude.
I could see that. I remember when I was watching *Malignant*, dude. These fucking. It was like 6 or 7 people directly in front of us. We're just like talking over the movie the entire time.
You son of a bitch. You got to see that in theaters. I forgot about that.
I did. But I paid the price for it. The bitch ass commentary. That movie's fucking rad. I really like *Malignant*. And
it's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking. That's another movie that. Like he just swung for the fences and just went fucking off the rails, and it fucking worked. And sometimes people love it, and I think more people love that than they hate it. But
I think
sometimes it doesn't work like that. But it fucking works on all different types of levels, dude.
Yeah, it was for the detractors of that movie. I think it was just misunderstood. Because it was trying to do some throwback stuff, and it went over a lot of people's heads, I think.
And did you see that twist coming? I didn't see it coming.
No. Like, I started to figure it out, but like, we're talking like minutes or seconds before it actually was revealed, I was like, oh yeah, this actually makes sense. And then the payoff, even if you do know, the payoff is so fucking worth it.
Yes.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
What have you been watching? Hopefully something, because we haven't recorded in a while.
I watched a good amount of things. First off, a couple weeks ago, I finally saw Roadhouse, the new Amazon Prime remake. I enjoyed it. I think I would have enjoyed it way more if those shitty AI CG fucking fight scenes were in it.
Yeah, they use those like weird like flash cuts, and you can kind of see dude. Like the enhancement. Or
I just don't like it. Like I was talking to my cousin today. How badass would it have been? And obviously, you're not going to get to that great of fight sequences and choreography, but like how real like those fight scenes in the Daredevil series was.
Oh yeah.
If it was something like that, dude, it would have been one of my favorite movies of the year. But they fucking ruins it for me. Like it legit ruined it for me. I still liked it because I like Gyllenhaal and I liked his performance. I thought he was fucking awesome in it. And yeah, dude, they kind of did Posty fucking. They did him wrong, dude.
Yeah, like why did they even bother?
Yeah.
With that, Yeah. And for all we know, maybe they'll make us eat our words, and they have something planned for the sequel for him. But yeah, I found that really weird.
Yeah. And then a couple weeks ago, I went opening night to go see the new Bad Boys.
Mm.
I liked it a lot. I think I liked it as much as the second one. Even though I think, yeah, it's I don't think it's as good as the first, but it's definitely as good or better than the second one. Because the third one was doo doo. Second one was all right. I know you said you didn't like the second one, right?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the second one. It's just it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's good, dude. I like it a lot. There's some cool action in it, some cool things they do. Um, it was a good movie to see in the theaters on the big screen with a kind of a packed house, and people showed up for that movie because I think it's made it's made its fucking budget back and some already in the 3-4 weeks it's been out worldwide.
But now you have people like Mel Gibson is directing another Lethal
I
Weapon.
know, another lethal weapon, dude.
And those
Why does he have to be a part of it?
No, they shouldn't. They should just not do them because the last two. Go back and watch those last two. They're
No, that's you.
they're they're shitty first of all, and then full of racism. So we don't need any more Lethal Weapon.
And then last week we went to go see Inside Out 2. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked it. It's I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it's good, dude. It deals with like a lot of adult themes and stuff that I think you would like, and people our age would like. The new emotions are fucking awesome. Anxiety obviously steals the show. My favorite is Deep Dark Secret. It's my one of my favorite new emotions. Yeah. And then today I went to go see that movie If, written and directed by John Krasinski. He's in it. Ryan Reynolds is in it. I went with my family and Sandy. It's good, dude. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I know it kind of got like mixed reviews, and it didn't make as much money as I thought it was going to make, like everything nowadays. But the voice cast is good, and it has a good story, and it kind of pulls on the heartstrings a little bit.
Did you cry?
I didn't, but everyone else, like my Sandy cried. My cousin right next to me was crying, and then my godson, who's like 11, he was fucking crying. But yeah, it's a good movie. I don't know if you necessarily think you have to see it in theaters, but when it does come out like on streaming or whatever, I think you should check it out. It's good, solid.
All right.
And then last but not least, the favorite thing I've seen. I'm pretty sure you're gonna know. You're gonna know what I'm gonna say. The favorite thing, the best thing I've seen in the last couple of weeks is I saw the TV Glow, dude. I bought it since I couldn't go and see it in the movie theaters. I had to buy it to show some love. I think if you follow us on Instagram, you probably, or if you follow me on Instagram, you kind of read what I said about it. I know Wes had seen it a couple weeks before me, and he kind of gave me his take on it. And I know you said you liked it. It was just like kind of very, very artsy.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why a lot of people, they probably won't like it if they see it. But yeah, man, it's good. I think the story is great. It is a very artsy. It's like fucking Donnie Darko on fucking acid. It's really out there. I think it might be a little confusing to people, but like I said in my little write up on Instagram, like I don't think you're meant to kind of fully understand it. But yeah, I had some tears in my eyes at the end, dude.
I think there's certain things that are great when they're left ambiguous, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be in horror or other genres. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've said this probably a lot of times, but we don't always need over explanations or prequels or being coddled as moviegoers, and I find it refreshing when filmmakers can make challenging pieces of cinema where they can tell that they believe in us, at least intellectually, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and dude, I don't think he gets talked enough about, but Justice Smith, dude, his range is so fucking good
Yeah,
that he can do a lot of things, and he's fucking great in that, man. So yeah, if you have I think like playing in a theater too down here where I'm at. If it is, go and see it. Or I bought it. It was like I think it was that was $14.99 too, or $19.99. Um, but yeah, show some love to these types of movies that don't get a lot of love, but um, the people that make them have the balls to put them out and make them.
and shout out for A24 for giving people voices. That's really important.
Yeah, yeah. They A24 had to have seen this, and obviously they loved it, right, to put it out. But they obviously knew it was probably going to make a lot of money, right? And it just goes to show how, like, how much they care about film and stories being made and stories being put out there.
Yeah, it's not. It seems like it's more than a business.
Yeah,
for that studio.
yeah, yeah. So go and check out I Saw the TV Glow. Give it some love, and have a little crisis at the end about your self worth and being and where you belong in the world.
Yes, definitely. Very identity centered for that one.
Yeah.
My first one is an Apple TV Plus exclusive. Going back to Jake Gyllenhaal, it's his new series called Presumed Innocent, where he plays basically a defense attorney who ends up being put on trial for a murder of a colleague. But the twist is that it was he was secretly having an affair with this woman while being married with children. So it's very interesting the way that this story is kind of crafted, and it feels very much like in the vein of David Fincher. Very true crimey, in your face, intense. And the way that Gyllenhaal is, you want to talk about range, my boy.
Yeah.
He's got some incredible range, and I feel like he's never really been. I feel like he doesn't get recognized enough.
Yeah, man. I think, I mean, I think he should have been nominated, and I don't know if he should have won. I don't know who won that year, but like, what's that? What is it? Nightcrawler?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
He should have fucking been nominated for that, dude.
Yeah, it's a crime.
He is batshit insane in that.
Mm-hmm. Crime against humanity that he was. That he wasn't. Like, come on, man.
And I don't think he's been nominated for anything Oscar wise, right? Was he nominated for? I don't think so. But yeah, dude, I've heard good things about the show, so I need to check it out. It was a movie, right? And it was Harrison Ford, right?
Yes, I guess this is like a reimagining.
Yeah.
Of that. But man, it's really good. So if you're hearing anything else, any negative feedback on this, check it out for yourself, because it's super engaging, and well done. And then over this past weekend, I went out to support the new film, The Bike Riders, starring our boy, Venom himself, Tom Hardy. And then Austin Butler,
Mhm.
Norman Reedus, Boyd Holbrook, Michael Shannon. So many, a super big ensemble cast, and everybody is so good in this. If you're like Ryan and you're a Fast and Furious fan, and you're going to watch the Bike Riders thinking that it's going to be something like that, you'll probably be a little disappointed because it's very much a drama piece
Mhm.
that doesn't there's not a whole lot of action. When things do go down, it feels natural, and it's worth it, but it's about 2 hours. And if you're going to see some like crazy chaotic Sons of Anarchy shit, like later Sons of Anarchy stuff, this movie might not be for you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
We're talking about Annihilation. It's rated R. It's from 2018. It's sci-fi horror. It runs at 1 hour and 55 minutes. It's got a 88 on Rotten. Written for the screen and directed by the great Alex Garland, starring Natalie Portman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Gina Rodriguez, Tessa Thompson, Tuva Novotny, and, of course, Oscar Isaac. After a mysterious meteor hits Earth, specifically in Florida, the surrounding area is affected, mutating everything. When a crew of scientists are tasked with finding out more info by going directly into the area, the results are both haunting and incredible in equal measure. In 2013, Paramount Pictures was able to acquire the rights to the not yet published novel Annihilation. Soon after, in 2014, Alex Garland was hired to write the screenplay and direct. Although the first book was the start in a planned trilogy, Garland decided to take the film adaptation in his own direction, making it more of a standalone story. Garland only reading the manuscript for Annihilation and staying away from the two other Southern Reach novels would ultimately cause controversy over the film's casting, specifically Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh, who are, of course, Caucasian women, while in the books it's revealed that the biologist is of Asian descent while the psychologist is half indigenous. Garland would later share that while in the writing and casting process, he did not actually know the intended race of those two respective characters at the time. A producer of the film wanted to change various aspects of the project after some poor test screenings, fearing that the film as a whole was too intellectual. In the end, Garland's vision was protected by his producer and no changes were made to the final cut of the film. With tensions high after this disagreement, Paramount struck a deal with Netflix, which allowed the streaming platform to release the film internationally. A decision that would not only disappoint filmmaker Alex Garland and his crew, but ultimately hurt the film's box office numbers. The film was made on an estimated budget of $55 million, while only grossing about $43.1 million worldwide. Although the movie didn't make a big splash at the box office, it gained massive respect from moviegoers and critics alike. Powerhouse performances, excellent special effects, and some of the most creative and disturbing body horror images ever put to film, Annihilation explores the ideas of life and death as well as human nature and self-destruction. Although the film does take many liberties in separating itself from the novel, it does so very successfully. Not trying to over-explain what's happening in the context of the plot, I strongly believe that Annihilation is one of the strongest sci-fi pieces to come out in the past 15 years. 5 out of 5 humanoid bears. Thank you. So, I remember a few weeks ago when we had first announced this, you said that you've seen Annihilation, if I'm my memory serves me correctly, you had only seen it one time. Is that correct?
Yeah. I saw it when it came out.
So then you, what did you think about it watching it all these years later?
I think like any Garland movie, it kind of. I think his movies are just gonna, with time, they're always gonna hold up. And his movies stick with you for a long time. Right? I know we talk about that a lot, but I think it's very true for his movies. I liked it the first time I saw it, and I still like it now. I don't know where I'd rate it in like his filmography, but it's definitely. I do agree with you. It's definitely one of the better sci-fi movies that's come out in a while. Even though, what is it? When did it come out? 2018?
2018. 2018.
Um, I didn't know that about switching of the races of those characters. That's new to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently what happened was um, Garland was given this project, and the first book had not been published. I think it was still being like kind of worked on. So he was given just like the manuscript of where all the basic plot points or whatever, and kind of built his script off of that. And so what he had built his script off of didn't really have emphasis on race or whatever. So that's why he came out and was like, "Hey, there was no real like I didn't knowingly hire these actresses to do like this whitewashing like you think I have, because I had no knowledge um of the characters, that they were going to be these, the races that they ended up being when the book was
Mhm.
published, if that makes sense. But also it seems kind of like nitpicky to be doing this to him when you got Tessa Thompson and Gina Rodriguez, who are clearly people of color in this, and I feel like they have very pivotal roles, and they fucking murder the screen just as much as Jennifer Jason Leigh or Natalie Portman, in my opinion, right?
Mhm.
They have some of the most like iconic parts in the film, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's kind of, it's just strange to me that people would call them out for this. Even though it seems like Alex Garland always finds himself in some kind of controversy, because look at Civil War.
Yeah.
But the guy makes bangers.
He does, dude, and when I talked about it, we talked about it off air a couple of days ago, but I brought it up to you. It's all his movies are like under 2 hours, most of them, but like there's so much fucking going on, and he stuffs so much in it that um it's like worth it. You know, he doesn't need those three. He doesn't need the 2.5 hour movie. He doesn't need a 3.5 hour movie to get his fucking point across. I
Which
think
is
that's what I love about Garland the most.
yeah. I honestly I don't know how he does it, because it's these films, they still, they move naturally. They don't feel like you're rushing, or you're not getting to spend time with these characters. It always feels like worth it in the end. I remember when like I got up from Civil War, it was like that was like an experience, and I was really happy that I didn't skip going to see that in the theater. And it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's the same for like Ex Machina. It's fucking incredible. Or didn't he write 28 Days Later?
Yeah,
I don't even think we have to say how great that movie is.
yeah, yeah. I don't think a lot of people know that. Obviously, like the people, like us, we know that, but yeah, dude, he's written a good amount of fucking bangers. And I think you're right. I think his movies are his. You don't want to skip his movies, right? They're it's like a you just have to experience them in theaters. And I think I didn't see, what didn't I see? I saw Civil War, saw this.
Men. We didn't see
I
Men.
didn't see. I haven't seen Men, so yeah, that's the only. It's the only movie of his I still haven't seen, and I didn't see in the theaters. But yeah, man, seeing Civil War in a theater was an experience. And I think too what we were how we were talking about, how we were talking about. I saw the TV bill. Some of like Civil War definitely, and this too. Um, he leaves it open ended, and we not really sure what's going. You know what's going on, but you don't.
Yes.
And like you said, I think sometimes that's needed, and then we don't need to know everything at the end of something.
Yeah, I think that sometimes it makes it more powerful when you're left to fill in those blanks for yourself. What do you think? What's going on, or what happened, or
Yeah.
what's your hypothesis on how the story can end up? And that's why, assuming people like to read, I think that's why we like to read, because it's like you're getting to use your imagination and build off of that. And that's why a lot of people say that books are more oftentimes than not better than the movie adaptations, because you're creating the movie in your head, essentially.
Yeah.
This movie is wild because it's playing with all of these things, right? Like when the movie starts, it's Natalie Portman's character is like a biologist, and you can tell that she's kind of in this deep depression, and we end up finding out it's because her husband has like went away on this like secret mission, and I think she thinks that he's either never coming back or has passed away or just kind of left in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he comes back, but he's like not the same, or is suffering from some kind of PTSD, and it leads her to end up going into this like affected area where we have this lighthouse. I think it's based in Florida, where it's Area X, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Where this like extraterrestrial being has hit this lighthouse, right, and created this kind of shimmering effect that is slowly, the border keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's like all of the plants and animals and everything that are surrounding these areas are like slowly kind of evolving into something new. We got like these government people who kind of build this little task force out of scientists to go into this affected area, almost on a suicide mission, because it's like, come on, guys, like I'm pretty sure they didn't expect these people to come out alive.
Essentially, after that first group of people, like they knew what was happening. Essentially, it was like a suicide mission.
Yeah, especially knowing Jennifer Jason Leigh's character. We find out later on in the film that she went because she knew she was dying of cancer. So she was like, this was like her last thing. Like it didn't matter if she was killed or not, because her end was near. Which is pretty fucked up to keep from a group, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Another thing that's worthy of mentioning is the shimmer being in there. It kind of morphs your sense of direction, so you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you are really. Compasses don't work, and it starts slowly kind of manipulating your way of your thought process.
Yeah.
And then eventually physically as well.
Mhm.
But one of those first interactions with like a wildlife creature, I think was the alligator.
Yeah. And the little abandoned house that fucking Natalie Portman like executes.
Oh yeah, dude. It's that is a great action piece when they, the gator, before you see him, the gator, he like grabs somebody by the leg and is pulling them through this abandoned house full of water. And then you see Natalie Portman's character like unflinchingly just runs after this person to save them. And it's so ballsy. But I believe her character is like ex-military as well.
Yeah.
I think they say something like she has some kind of combat training, which explains why she's so good with her rifle when she takes down this gator. But I don't know if I would say it looks perfect, but the CGI for some reason in this movie, and I'm not sure if it's because of the shimmer effect, but I buy it. I think it looks good still. For being
It does. Even though the wildlife, it looks fucking awesome. Like the crocodile. You had mentioned it like after I had seen it the second time, and then I watched it again. I watched it twice, and then I went back. But the body horror aspect, dude, I didn't really like put that together until that third time after I watched it. I was like, damn, like the body horror is very evident.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's kind of it's creepy to think about, but it's like this alien that is like fusing something old and something new together to create something, completely unique.
Mhm.
And that's why you see like there's like little details like when they look off into the forest and they see like this deer and then a copy of the same deer like running or with each other or whatever, and it's kind of like foreshadowing what happens to her, towards the end. But it's all these things happening around them. Not to mention the towards I guess it's kind of towards the end, but they all start kind of like turning against each other slowly, like what happened with the first group of men. And then the bear scene, dude, in the house is so goddamn tense and scary.
Yeah, and you're not expecting it either. Like you're kind of, especially since you know that is the bear that took the first girl, right?
Yes.
So they start figuring out that you know the environment is kind of not only are they being changed, but the environment is being changed by them, and it's kind of taking their form, their shape, or little things from them, and the bear obviously attacks. The first girl kills her and kind of starts like mimicking her.
Yeah.
And it's fucking gnarly, dude. It's kind of haunting actually, because it's essentially her last words.
Yeah, it's like absorbed her vocals.
Yeah.
So you hear this shrieking, and then they all think that she's still alive. Because there was like, some of the group thought that maybe she had been murdered by them, and then they just made up the story about the bear, and that the bear didn't really attack her. And then, the bear rolls in, and but when the bear like screams or howls or roars, it's like it sounds like their teammate or whatever. And seeing that on done on camera is it was done very, very well. And it's I think one of the more scarier moments that I can think of, like in a movie that really, like you said, I guess to steal your words from earlier, it's very haunting.
Mhm.
Very, very haunting. You know, because the bear's like decomposing and just vicious looking. Attacks one of the women, super unforgiving. Like basically rips her throat out right in front of you. Something else we haven't said yet about how cool this movie is it's with the exception of like Oscar Isaac, it's an all female led cast,
Yeah.
and they're doing everything on their own.
Hmm.
They're important people, and I think that's it's that makes it suck so much more that there was like powerful women representation in this, and it was, nobody went to see it. And like I said in my write up, Netflix releasing it internationally did not do this any favors, because if it's on Netflix, it can be bootlegged, and I'm sure it was leaked on the internet, and that caused a lot of people, even in the US, not to go see it in the cinema, and that's a damn shame, because you could tell through and through that Garland and his crew made this for you to go sit down and watch it in a dark ass theater, like super loud,
Mhm.
So it's kind of lame that even though I got to see it, I went to see it in the theater. A lot of people didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think I think it's just one of those movies that just, I don't know, maybe just people didn't get right off the trailer. Um, and they should have, because fucking Natalie Portman.
Do you think this is a thinking man's movie? It's too intellectual for people, or what are your thoughts on that? I don't think it's too hard to follow. I think it's pretty it leans into some artsy stuff here and there, but it's still pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory with what it's doing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a thinking man's. Uh, I just, I think it just is like a little bit too out there for like the normal moviegoer. But it's not hard to understand. It's not hard to follow. Like I said, the only thing is like the ending, right? Like we talked about it off air, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But I don't think it's too hard to understand.
Yeah. You think another very going back to the body horror aspect, when you find that footage of Oscar Isaac's character, like finding this alien being replicates him, and then you watch him through the footage that he basically committed suicide.
Mhm.
With what are those incinerary?
Yeah,
Oh,
grenades. Yeah,
yeah. And they show you it like in real time, like his body
yeah, yeah.
decaying.
They don't cut away.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So then, that kind of tricks you into thinking that, oh, like his wife is going to end up being going down the same path, and it's kind of hopeless. But then it's like she at least the way that I interpret it is that she got this alien being to replicate her, and because us as I feel like humans, most of us have like these self-destructive tendencies, so she was almost like passed that trait onto this alien, and kind of almost like tricked or found a hack for it to kill itself. And that's why we find that the shimmer and everything that had been slowly kind of taking over Earth at that time disintegrates. So it's like it appears that the humans have won, but then we kind of cut back to the present where they're in the lab, and Natalie Portman's character goes to talk to Oscar Isaac, her husband, or I guess the clone still, and they kind of she asks him like, "Oh, like you're not really him, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't think so, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
and they hug each other, and then they kind of end. They roll credits after Natalie Portman's eyes kind of change color, and so we're left with this very open-ended conclusion. But I know I was telling you the other day that I felt like that was I don't think we're meant to believe that she's an alien too. I think it is still her in there, but she was obviously affected by the shimmer, and just like all of those other things, it was like she transformed in some way. And an Easter egg, I don't know if you paid attention to, something that character didn't have before she went into the shimmer, but she has that 8 tattooed on her forearm when she's being,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You kind of notice it when she's being interrogated, right?
Yeah. That's something that I think it's starts off as a bruise, but you can see it if you go back to that scene. You remember when Oscar Isaac is cutting open his buddy? And
yeah.
You see those worms in the intestines. When the girls find that body at the pool and it's all kind of mummified over and everything, if you look at his forearm, he has that exact same tattoo. It looks like a snake consuming itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that obviously has to be some kind of indicator that she is changed somehow or affected. Weird ass movie, huh?
Yeah, dude, it definitely is. But like I said, it's weird and it kind of goes like a little bit off the rails, but I don't think it's that hard to understand. And dude, we didn't talk about what a scene that is when he's cutting up the other soldier's stomach, dude, and you just see his fucking guts. They look like they're supposed to be his guts, but it's like fucking snakes.
Yeah, moving back and forth. And you watch, and again, it's like through like a handheld camcorder footage, and it's Oscar Isaac like cutting open his partner, but they don't they show you like it's not what do you say, like it's not like they're hinting that he's doing it. No, you see the incision, you see the crudeness, you see the pocket knife that he's using. Like it's super fucking out there. And then they end up finding that same knife, when they walk into that into the pool area.
Yeah, where would you rank it in his movies?
I think I would put this probably number 1. What about you? You still can't decide?
Like I said, I haven't seen Men, but without Men, I think I'd put it. Man, dude, Civil War is just like a fucking masterclass in suspense. I think I'd put it second, right after that. Civil War.
Okay, Civil War,
Yeah.
followed by Annihilation. That I can respect that.
Fucking go and check it out. Isn't it on? It's on Paramount. I watched it on Paramount, I think.
Oh, nice. I have. Go ahead.
It's on Tubi right now for free, I think, too.
Oh, okay, cool. Go check it out. Read the book if you haven't read the book. Pick it up.
Oh yeah.
that's something that we can all bring up real quick. It's kind of, the book is a lot. It's different than the movie, more than you would
Is it?
expect. Yeah. It's still good though, but less. I would say probably less body horror. I think that's really Alex Garland's doing all that kind of creepy stuff that he infused in there, which is cool. But yeah. All right, man. I guess until next time, this is Wesley and Ryan signing off, saying good fight.
And good night.
I don't think it wanted anything.
But it attacked you.
It mirrored me. I attacked it. I'm not sure it even knew I was there.
It came here for a reason. It was mutating our environment. It was destroying everything.
It wasn't destroying. It was changing everything. It was making something new.
Making what?
I don't know.
A team reached the lighthouse a few hours ago. Everything is ash. If what you encountered was once alive, it seems it's now dead.